was raised as a middle-class kid.
I grew up a middle-class kid.
I grew up a middle-class kid.
I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people.
You know, we have ambitions and aspirations and dreams.
The ambition, the aspiration, the dream.
I started my career as a prosecutor.
I was a career prosecutor for most of my career.
Having a background as a prosecutor.
I intend to create an opportunity economy.
Developing and creating an opportunity economy.
What I imagine and believe and call an opportunity economy.
So
You have to be stage 4 Trump deranged. Stage 4. Feelings and emotions. To cast a vote for that. Just saying, y'all. Now you see why Democrats are packing their bags left and right. Early in the morning, late at night, during the day. And they're on the Trump train. You wonder why. People are still, we got, how many days to November 5th?
It's 48 days until then.
48 days. Now, I had to make sure she said it out loud so y'all could hear what Siri was saying, because if I tell you we got 48 days, some of y'all might not believe me. But 48 days. And this lady can't answer a question on the economy. Word salad, word spaghetti. Because what we're going to do is have maybe an opportunity economy, because I was in the middle class and everybody cut their lawn. And she says it. She say it everywhere. She says it at the debate where she didn't get fact checked not once, where she didn't answer any questions, where she needed the moderators to make her look good. And then she goes and just bombs these interviews, says the same thing and repeat it. Now they're calling her out on it. They should have kept her puppet hidden. Again, you have to be stage 4. Stage 4 Trump deranged. You know, just a complete Trump hater. We know most of y'all have, a couple of y'all have already, you know, fell in the mainstream media bucket. You know, they brainwashed you. They've gotten a hold of you. You can't think for yourself. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how corrupt it is. It's corrupt. But a lot of people are waking up. And this is a huge reason why. You see why she was ducking, dodging, and hiding. Having headphones in. Don't want to talk to the press. Don't want to have any interviews. Now we see why. It's a show. And same with her running mate. Tampon Timmy, Stolen Valor Tim. And now you see why his family, his mother, everybody is voting Trump. And look at this. This is a huge thing that's trending right now too. One of the largest labor unions in the country just released a poll showing that an overwhelming majority of their over 1.2 million members support Trump over Kamala Harris. Trump at almost a 60%. Wow.
I'm going to say this. Whatever the critics out there, and they're very few in the leadership, whenever I get an opportunity to highlight the American worker, especially the Teamster worker, I'm going to take any and all venue. We asked both conventions respectively at the same time, and the Republican National Convention immediately responded to us, didn't try and edit any of our messages, and I was hopeful that the Democrats would do the same, but they didn't. I'm not upset about it, but I can tell you this, my rank and file members who have been lifelong Democrats are not happy about it. I'm
gonna play it for you.
John, this just in. The Teamsters are releasing the results of their member polling on which presidential candidate to back. And here it is, 31% say they support Harris compared to 58% who say they support Trump. The union typically backs Democrat candidates, but has delayed its endorsement in this contest. The union's general executive board expects to announce a decision at some point today. So take from that what you will.
Oh my, put that back up on the screen. Holy moly.
Yep.
Trump, they prefer 58 to 31 over Harris in the Teamsters.
Yep.
If that is the actual number and the Teamsters doesn't come out and endorse Trump, something's wrong. Now, I remember Trump was here at the Teamsters, and then, of course, the head of the Teamsters Union addressed the Republican convention. I mean, it was a screed of complaints about how Republicans have treated union members in some places, but he still had a chance to air his views. People listened to them, and now you get results like that. That is a huge, huge turnaround for the former president, and that's one that's going to make a lot of political waves.
I was just going to say, that's making a lot of waves right now, and we'll see where the official endorsement goes. It shouldn't be any surprise.
Wow.
But then again, it will be.
That's politics and it's D.C., but wow, that is stunning. Put it up on the screen one more time.
One more time.
Because I've never seen anything like that before. Look at that.
That is incredible. So that is just in. So we'll get.
It has to be too big to rig, you guys. Register, go out and vote. You know, I want to tell y'all, man, everything that y'all seen, you just can't make this stuff up, man. You know, but it comes to a breaking point, man. People are sick and tired. People are sick and tired. These last 3.5, I want to ask you, how has your life been these last 3.5, 4 years? You know, and they know that people are waking up. This is why they're continuing to just spread more hatred, more brainwashing, more lies, more propaganda. I mean, fake news, fake headlines, Project 2025. I mean, all this crap. He's going to take your rights. He's going to be a dictator on day one. Abortion, this, and that. He's going to do this, and that. It's crap. It's lies. Because they know his support. They know his supporters. They know his leadership. They know that right now he's winning. The man just survived another assassination attempt. Second one. You know, and there's still questions that we're waiting for. We the people. From the first one. That they say that's going to shock a lot of people, but we're not surprised. It's a little fishy to have a shooter with an AK-47 camped out for 12 hours. When the golfing event was nowhere on any public schedule. How they let a shot ring off, you know, from 100 yards away. They let a kid get on top of a 20-year-old get on top of a roof. And they let them, and they knew, and again, I can't say what I really, really want to say. I'll get in trouble. But prayers for Trump, man. And now you see why Inside Job is trending. You see why a lot of things are trending. And we the people are not stupid. Them patriots are not stupid, man. We see what's taking place. Prayers for Trump and his family, his team, his campaign. This thing is corrupt, man. And now this lady is making, like I told you, trending for the wrong reasons. When we covered Biden, when we covered everything on Biden, 81 million votes, a cheap fake, a deep fake, a cheap fake. Falling down. Running off and walking off into the distance. Where is he at? Was he okay? What is he doing? Mr. President, turn around. Come here. Come here. Come here. What is you doing? We is on the world stage, sir. Okay. Put that ice cream cone down. Put that ice cream cone down, Mr. President. You know, this is an absolute disgrace, man, these puppets, man. And now we're running on joy. Good vibes. Joy. And if you don't vote for me, hey, you're black. You gotta vote for me. Hey, you're a person of color. I'm you. You know? You don't think so? Okay, I'm gonna bring your favorite artist, celebrity, a Hollywood actress, or whatever. You know, I'm gonna bring them to the event. I'm gonna make sure they get paid off, and they're gonna have my full endorsement. And I called Taylor Swift last week. Don't worry, she's gonna endorse me to win the debate. You know, if I don't lose or win the debate, we're gonna make sure that she hits that button. But we the people are not going for it, man. The hell with a celebrity. The hell with somebody from Hollywood. You know, people are struggling and dying right now. People making life decisions inside grocery stores. You know, people are getting scammed out their shoes. People are dying, have died. People are sick and tired. People are fed up, man. And it has to be too big to rig. You know? And like I told you on that map, that map is going to, if things are done fair, history is going to be made, man. And it can't be close. You know, it cannot be close because they're going to try it again. I'm sorry. We know what happened at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody woke up and said, what happened? It cannot be close, man. It has to be too big to rig. But look. Harris repeating the same answer. This is not, just check it out.
In her 59 days since President Biden's exit from the campaign, Vice President Harris has not held a single formal press conference or a solo interview with a national TV network. Voters say they want more from her, and journalists need to be given the opportunity to challenge her stance on critical issues. Now, the Harris Walls ticket won't give specifics on policy, but we do know their record. They just don't seem to want to talk about it. Watch how Governor Tim Walz addressed this question about sky-high inflation.
Let's start with inflation. What do you tell people who wake up, frankly, each morning wondering, how am I going to get by financially?
Yeah, I tell them that Kamala Harris and I know something about it, being middle-class folks. Our family sit at the table trying to pay the bill.
Okay, well, that vague response has somehow become the Harris campaign's go-to answer.
They go to middle class. We were middle class. Everybody cut their lawn. Everybody, you know, we waved at our neighbor. Hey, we're middle class. How you doing? Yeah, we're middle class.
Just watch. It's like pulling the string on the back of a doll.
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid.
They can just get their foot in the door to be able to then engage in what will prove to be their opportunity to build intergenerational wealth. And here's my personal experience coming at that. I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother was hardworking. She raised me and my sister Maya. She saved up, and it was only by the time I was a teenager that she could afford to actually buy her first home. And I know, and I identify with, I know where I come from.
Now, Kaylee, that seems to be lacking a policy explanation or an explanation at all of why her policies have changed, but it seems like she's good at memorizing the answers.
She's very good at the scripted talking point. You know, I have a news flash for Kamala Harris. I grew up a middle-class kid is not a plan to get us out of Bidenflation. The truth is there is no new policy. Bidenflation is Kamalaflation. Bidenomics is Kamalanomics. That is the truth. Otherwise, she would have given an hour-long policy speech at the Economic Club of New York like Donald Trump did. She did not. Voters are noticing. I think Trump can very likely prevail in this election, and here's why. I've noticed a trend. When you reach the bottom of the New York Times, the bottom of CNN, they actually talk to real voters. Here's what they say. New York Times, this is a part-time worker for a school bus company. She was wonderful in the debate, but he's a businessman, and I think he sees what's going on. A young black woman in Wisconsin, she wasn't going to vote. She says, I believe in his facts over her vision. You hop on over to CNN, guarantee you they don't want to publish this. Nikki Haley voter says Kamala Harris says she wants to lift up the middle class, but how? And finally, a retired police officer from Nevada. I've been checking her website. You read it. There are no specifics. The American people, I believe, are going to choose policy over platitudes. She has none. Her policy is Bidenomics.
The weird thing is, Harris, is that, look, she does have experience. She likes to remind us. So shouldn't that speak for itself? And why does she refuse to cite it or to explain why she's changed her mind on so many things? You know, she didn't just enter the scene. So why the dearth?
Well, you know, it's an interesting bifurcation that I see going on. She can either play dumb and say that she didn't have anything to do with the policies and that she has her own set, which is kind of what she's doing. She's saying, well, I've seen what we've been doing and I see a reason to make changes. Or she can take full responsibility and say, I was part of what we did, the border, so on and so forth, and I saw through our own failures what we need to do. Those are your only two options, because she was present for all of it, and she can't deny that. So either she was dumb or she was incompetent. I think the choices are poor for her, but the truth is always valuable to the American people. She's got 48 days left. Which of the 48 days are we going to hear deep talk about her policies?
Yeah. And for a lot of Americans who think the answer is both of the two options that Harris provided, Tom, I mean, this is someone who's held a lot of these high caliber officers, but it seems like she can't even field a simple question asking her for any type of experience or facts whatsoever. It's like it's really a vacuous vessel.
Yes. And if you look at that local interview she did, that one was a disaster. The one, Republicans should just chop that up and put it all over the internet. But it's true. You look at her and you say, hey, exactly.
And they have. They've chopped that whole interview. We've played so many clips from it. It's I go all down my timeline, and it's just her, and everybody's just pissed, posting the exact same clips of her repeating herself. You know, not answering questions. And now they got Tim Walz all over the internet doing the exact same thing. Middle class. The same middle class story.
But you look at these interviews or lack of them and you say, I mean, she's not that bad. Why isn't she just getting out there and, giving it her best shot? The reason is it's a combination of her being not good at this, and the other part is that she's changed so many of her stances, and that she doesn't want to reveal to the American people how far left she is. So she's got to balance those two things are both working against her. Ooh. Also, that this is the way Democrats want to run elections now. We all thought that Joe Biden was hiding in the basement because he was old. It's not. That's the way Democrats like to do it. Stay silent. We have now a month with early voting. We have a month to go vote collecting. When you change from convincing the voter to vote collecting around Election Day, that is an actual election strategy. That's what they're doing. And so they would rather not convince people to just use that time and get out there on the street and get those early votes.
Yeah, but that figurehead strategy, Carly, seems so stale. The talking points they have about check this box, that's so stale, that's so years ago, because right now Americans are suffering and they just want restoration to back what life was like under President Trump.
Yeah, and the clip of Kamala Harris saying the same things over and over again, it kind of reminds me of the montage clips of Joe Biden stumbles, because these things go viral on social media and they get millions of views. We all know that Kamala Harris is unburdened by what has been 100 times over, and now we're hearing a lot about her middle class background and her mom. And I think that if you are a Democrat, you look at this and say, well, it's better than the off-the-cuff comments that get Donald Trump in trouble. And a Republican would respond and say, well, at least Donald Trump is his own person. Kamala Harris doesn't know who she is or what she stands for. But what matters the most is the undecided voter. And CNN has a headline that says Harris isn't giving the specifics some undecided voters say they want. And to that point, a New York Times Siena College poll just found that 28% of likely voters want to know more about Kamala Harris. Only 9% say that about Donald Trump. Elections are about giving people what they want. And right now that is detail.
Look, we are on the eve potentially because the program runs out soon if Biden doesn't step in. If 43% of our ports close because of a huge strike and he could have stepped in, the high prices go up even higher. And that's right before an election. So who's on whose side on the left? Because his decision not to get involved And to stop that strike is certainly not going to help Kamala Harris. Of course, we won't hear her talk about it. But.
That's right. Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Compar.
You just can't make this stuff up, you guys. You just can't make this stuff up. It has to be too big to rig, man. Too big to rig. Make sure y'all register and go out and vote. I love you guys. I'm wishing the best in all you guys' life. Let me know what y'all think, man. Just can't make this up. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, y'all.